The market is hungry for this convertible debt.
Volatility has product market fit, if you can believe it.
Yeah, volatility has product market fit. And in a world of like just boring, non-volatile like equities and bonds and stuff, like this stuff is exhilarating. It's a jolt, right? It's like the CPR machine to some of these balance sheets. And I'm imagining a Bitcoin-backed convertible bond ETF. And it's just a convertible bond. So you create an ETF product where somebody can buy the ETF product, and it's like a diversified portfolio of these Bitcoin-backed bonds. All of a sudden, you're like, boom, there's somebody that wants to take it's like a different, volatility tranche where you're capping the upside, minimizing the downside. And like you capture all of the exposure from, you've got this, small tech company that's 99% Bitcoin. You now have got Semler Scientific that's, healthcare and Bitcoin, maybe 50-50. You've got the mining infrastructure where it's maybe like 75% Bitcoin, 25% mining infrastructure. And you've got all of these other companies that have different underlying business models that can use it to give them a financial jolt to their balance sheet. So I think the ducks are quacking. I think as Saylor said, if the ducks are quacking, feed the ducks. If inflation expectations or debasement expands faster than expectations, and they're going to be, starving for products to capture that debasement and inflation risk. So those are really good products, I think, for these large capital pools.
And the ETFs are coming. Ben Workman's weighing in one by one. The ETFs will continue to emerge and increase the demand for Bitcoin Treasury Company convertible bonds. There will be several more Bitcoin Treasury companies emerging to meet the demand. Count on it. And he's commenting on this. As you see, here's another filing. Rex Bitcoin Corporate Treasury Convertible Bond ETF will invest in convertible bonds issued by companies that hold BTC in their corporate treasury. So this is going to be a thing. And this could be a bucket of companies that you can place your money into, sort of like the US 30 or the S&P. It's a bucket of companies that are Bitcoin treasury companies in layman's terms. And this is going to cause another avenue for investors to not only get that upside volatility, but also to outpace debasement of dollar falling to absolutely nothing. So if you're not understanding what's going on, big things are in the works. With that, what's happening, Crypto Crew? Sean's coming back at you in the cryptocurrency video.
Hey guys, sorry for the quick interruption, but if you're interested in trading MicroStrategy options, any other stock out there, Bitcoin, Solana, or any other crypto out there, you can now do that on MooMoo. And if you sign up with our affiliate link, which we pin in the comment section, also in the description below, when you sign up and deposit any amount, you're going to receive up to 20 free stocks. And each one of these stocks could be valued at up to $2,000. So make sure to sign up with MooMoo. Go get that free money. Now let's go ahead and get back to the video.
And to piggyback on that, if you guys want some free stuff, make sure you sign up to MooMoo today. Here's our link below to get your 15 free stocks. If you want to be part of the Bitcoin Bros Club, you can then check us out on Patreon at the link below. Right here, Blockworks is weighing in a MicroStrategy check-in post, NASDAQ 100 inclusion and planned ETFs that to hold the stock. So let's read in this a little bit. End of year profit taking, MicroStrategy is up about 380% in 2024, and recent declines in the Bitcoin price are likely contributors to MicroStrategy's latest dip. Bigger picture, the inclusion in the index basically stems from massive funds that allocate into NASDAQ 100 constitutes, namely Invesco's QQQ. More to the point, its acceptance, Dan Wishkoff, a co-portfolio manager at Amplify's Block ETF, says its institutional adoption is an example of Michael Saylor's strategy working. So what Michael Saylor is doing, people are taking note of, and more companies are going to start following, as Jeff just mentioned in that video before. But here's the bigger thing. The question of 2025 is whether MSTR could also land itself in the S&P 500. Bigger than QQQ, the SPDR S&P 500, or SPY, with $636 billion in assets investing companies within that index. So we're just seeing the first wave of this money coming in that hasn't even shocked the price yet. Could MicroStrategy shoot past $1,000 this next year? Well, take a look at the Bitcoin price chart. We're seeing that Bitcoin's coming in at 94.4K, and we've been in a downtrend. So We've been in a retracement currently, pulled back to 94.4 at the current time that's recording, and you see that this green line, the 50 moving average, is something to pay attention to, because as you see right now it says 75,000, but it's still on an uptick. Could we come lower? Yes, we could. We could see lower price action, but as you see, we're stair-stepping our way up. We could come low, kiss this 50 moving average before we continue to make new all-time highs into next year. And when could that happen? Look at what TA Trader Allen is saying. He broke down the ascending channel, and right here, he broke down back in February of 2024, early this year. Then look what happened. We broke down all the way to roughly around 40,000 and then blasted up to roughly that $70,000 threshold before trading sideways, once again in a long drawn out channel, and then we blasted through that, broke 100, and look what we do. We broke down just again. And then could we see a rinse repeat of this pattern going up to $150,000? We'll get back to that in a second. MicroStrategy at the current time it's recording at close is at 330. What can we see for MicroStrategy? One thing to note, I want you to note this green box here, but let's look at the current price action really quick before we go there. Could we see lower price action? Bitcoin bros say that we definitely could. And why do we say this? Is because if we look at where we are at the current time of this recording, we can see that we have had this pullback, and we winked all the way up to $550. We've showed you that, and this is in the midst of an ABC correction. Now this B leg is typically got potentially maybe a little bit longer to go, but look at this gap right here. The CME gaps tend to get filled, and if you extrapolate this 50 moving average, we could come down and almost perfectly test this over the next few weeks, or within the next few days, depending on how volatile the price action is. But if we do see something like this, let's get our pen back out, our brush, and if we come back down and kiss this perfectly, fill this gap before maybe trading sideways here, putting in higher highs and higher lows, before ultimately blasting up, putting new highs in 2025. So that's what the Bitcoin bros see. Now, remember, we told you to look back at that given box. This box here, let's zoom into this price action. And why are we looking and keying in on this? Because this was towards the bottom, around $12. Now this is with a split, so it's really about $120, but you get the picture. But from here till now, $12, actually it's about $13. That's over a 20x. Let's do the math for you really quick. So if we do the current price action with this pullback and $13, that's a 25x from where we are right now. So if we look at a similar company that's biting off the MicroStrategy strategy, and right here we see a bullish divergence putting in a low, but a higher low in the price action. Price puts in a lower low, indicating a rounding bottom. And look at this blast up has started now. We're in the consolidation phase, and these EMAs look bullish too, as the 20 is getting ready to cross over all the EMAs in a bullish fashion. So if we bottomed out here at $19, and if this does something similar, what could SMLR do? So 19 times 25x, that's $475 per share. At a current $63 price, looking at a 7.5x. Could this outpace MicroStrategy for the rest of this cycle? That's a possibility, as MicroStrategy already had a blast off, and Saylor, really hasn't got out the depths yet, but at the current time this recording, did about a 3x. HODL strong. And then update here, look at all these, the HODL top 70 list. MicroStrategy leads the pack at 444,000 Bitcoin. You see coin here at 94.8, and look who's creeping up. Number 13, SMLR at 2,084 BTC. The Bitcoin arms race is in full effect. And one thing you need to know here, looking at the United States median new house. Look back here in 2013, a house almost cost you 100K Bitcoin. But look where it's at right now. 4.5 BTC will buy a house, and Wealth Squad Chris is weighing in on this. 10 years ago, a house was near 100,000, like we said. Now it's only 4.5. In the future, it will be worth 1 BTC, then 0.5, then 0.1, I promise you. Bitcoin bros agree with this 1000%. If you don't get it, you don't get it. And leave you with this: President Trump will focus on the price of Bitcoin. He would love for the price to hit 150,000 early in his presidency. So what we just show you, this chart here, if he gets in mid to late January, and look where this is going by middle of February, 150,000. Are we in the cusp of another massive run for Bitcoin? With that, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. If you guys like this content, go ahead and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and show us some love. With that, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'm out.